Hey everyone, this is Alex Alvern and welcome back to another Top 10 video. Today we'll be looking at the top 10 best mentors in anime. Mentors are some of the most important characters in the show, as our protagonists typically start out either clueless, powerless, or both. So as they start their journeys, it's up to the mentors to kickstart their adventure and guide them along their path. Depending on the show, mentors can have a wide variety of different personalities and training philosophies. Some are kind and patient, while others have brutally high expectations with a sink or swim mantra. Either way, they make sure that the main character is ready to beat the ass of any villain who disrespects their mother, and today we'll look at those mentors who were most memorable, badass, or just left the most impressionable life lessons. Without further ado, let's get to it. Kicking off our list at the number 10 spot, we have Regan Aratake from Mob Psycho. From a surface level, Regan actually looks like a pretty terrible mentor. The dude tricks a prepubescent mob by telling him he's the best psychic in all the land, that he can teach the kid to manage his actual real abilities. Also, he can continue running his con artist consulting business. The nice thing about this character though, is that he isn't one-dimensional. The conman side of him is only one aspect to his character, and we actually see some great character development over the span of several seasons. If we ignore his initial dishonesty, he actually imparts a lot of great wisdom to Mob, including how to stand up for himself, how to manage his business, how to navigate complicated social situations, etc. While he does exploit his powers for personal gain, he definitely displays some redeeming qualities as well, as he seems to genuinely care for Mob and always make sure to protect him from danger. Next on our list, we have Kakashi from Naruto taking the number 9 spot. He was one of the first mentors introduced in the decade-plus-long series, starting off as the leader of Team 7, consisting of Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. His style of mentoring definitely falls into the sink or swim category, as he doesn't put up with any nonsense, and flat out almost fails the entire team for not displaying proper teamwork in their first test, a trait that he values above all else. Having similar personality traits to Sasuke, and also sharing the Sharingan ability, he eventually takes Sasuke under his wing as his main protege, imparting powerful techniques like the Chidori onto his students. Given how things eventually progress though with Sasuke trying to kill the other students, you can't really say that Kakashi was always the most effective teacher, but it's clear that he's definitely always thinking about what's best for his students, even if it's through tough love. On the other side of that coin though, his students do become some of the most powerful shinobi in the village, saving it from destruction on multiple occasions, and his former student Naruto does eventually become the Hokage, so his list of credentials can only be considered as top-notch.
Who's attacking? Slay!
At number 8, we have one of the most savage women to grace this list, Izumi Curtis from Fullmetal Alchemist. Although she loves to introduce herself as a mere housewife, it's pretty clear that she's anything but. Slender yet well-toned, Izumi played the role of one of the key mentors for Edward and Alphonse Elric, teaching them alchemy, martial arts, and general life lessons. Unlike Kakashi, who leads through respect, or Regan, who leads through deception, Izumi's method for gaining obedience from her mentees is using a sheer use of fear and intimidation, with the Elric brothers shivering in terror at the mere thought of aggravating. For example, when someone makes the suicidal mistake of calling her old. While she may be scary as hell, like most well-written characters, she carries a level of hidden depths, being able to truly empathize with the Elrics after learning about their attempt at human transmutation to bring back their mother. While tough love may be the name of her game, it's still love nonetheless. Taking the number 7 seat, we have tiny but mighty Biscuit Kruger from Hunter x Hunter. Don't let her looks fool you. While she appears in the form of a little girl, she's still one of the most powerful characters in the anime series. It looks like not even classic epics like this one are immune from the anime trope of overpowered lolis, but hey, that's anime for you. Biscuit first meets Gon and Killua during the Greed Island arc, where she takes them under her tutelage and trains them to refine their nen. For the most part, she keeps her true appearance hidden, which is understandable as we later learn that under that cute exterior, she looks like something of a cross between a Wonder Woman and the Hulk. Still, I don't know whether I'd rather get trained by a little girl or a butch Amazon. Neither option sounds that appealing, but if the result is a refined use of powers, then I'm all for it. Next up, at our number 6 spot, we have Urukuraki from Bleach. While some might argue that Rukia played the most important mentor role to Ichigo, that would only hold true to someone who stopped watching at like episode 7. The hat and clogs wearing storekeeper continued to play an ever-growing role of importance as the series progressed, unlocking Ichigo's full power after he got smacked around by Byakuya like a cheap ragdoll. He also helped prepare the entire team for their journey into Hollowland, and we learned later on that he's a literal genius and former member of the Gote 13 captains. Not only is he immensely powerful in all areas of combat, including Kido, swordsmanship, and tactical preparation, but he's also meticulous in his training methodology, getting not only Ichigo but his entire crew in fighting shape, ready to take on Shinigami level opponents who have been training for decades apparently, in a much shorter amount of time. Had Ichigo lived 1 or 2 towns over and never come across Urahara, I think we can confidently say that his life expectancy would have been severely limited.
No, I fight to get what I need for myself and always have. I attack whoever stands in my way.
With yet another incredible woman gracing our list, it's fair to say that many of our favorite anime series reject any notion of gender inequality, as Master Genkai takes our midway number 5 spot today for top mentors. If you're watching this video and you're still in your teens, you might have never heard of this character, and if that's the case, I highly recommend that immediately after this video, you cancel your plans for the next month and binge watch this masterpiece that is Yuyu Hakusho. This sarcastic and snarky hag is a former champion of the Dark Tournament in the series and subjects Yusuke to the absolute most torturous and hellish type of training, ranging from condescending motivation to literally grave physical danger. There is a method to her madness. And no, it's not senile dementia. She just knows what it takes to get her pupil to go beyond his limit and inherit her insane powers. If there were ever to be a Yu Yu Hakusho reboot, I think an Origins prequel of Genkai in her prime younger years would be a wildly entertaining story. And while it's pretty unlikely, hey, a man can dream. Taking the number 4 spot, we have Kamina from Gurren Lagann. It just goes to show that being a mentor isn't always about being a wise old sage who has decades of experience over the protagonist, and Kamina is a perfect example of that. As the de facto leader of Team Dai Gurren, he loudly proclaims his dreams and intentions to the world regardless of who's listening, and he instills into Simone the drive to live life to the fullest, to have confidence in himself no matter what, and to go the distance without hesitation. Even though Simone is incredibly timid and unsure of himself throughout the first half of the series, Kamina always continues to believe in him without fail, and that ability to energize and motivate those around you to believe in themselves is a unique and effective mentorship style that Kamina executes flawlessly. Whole universe be damned. Just who the hell do you think he is?
Tanjiro, omae wa sugoi ko da.
Kicking off our top 3, we have the former Water Hashira of the Demon Slayer Corp, Urukuraki. Now a retired hunter of demons who spends his days training badass swordsmen like Yu Tomioka and Tanjiro, Urukuraki played a major supporting role as a mentor during the final selection arc earlier in the series. Wearing a red goblin mask at all times, he agrees to take Tanjiro as an apprentice after receiving a letter of recommendation from his former pupil, Tomioka. Meticulously designing countless traps and training programs for Tanjiro on the mountain, he's quickly able to put Tanjiro's talent to full use and progress him to the next power level. His demeanor is no joke though. Realizing that Tanjiro's sister is a demon, he poses the question of what will Tanjiro do if Nezuko ends up devouring a human. When Tanjiro doesn't have an answer, he smacks him and scolds him for not being more decisive. We see some highly satisfying character development throughout the series, however, as we see both Urukuraki and Tomioka putting their own lives on the line to vouch for Tanjiro, which ends up saving Nezuko's life. Given his skill level and experience, I don't think Urukuraki has much to fear from demons. However, should the Goblin Slayer ever come around, he may want to rethink his choice of masks. At the runner-up number 2 spot, we have a mentor who never fails to place highly on these lists, resident pervert and legendary Sannin, Jiraiya from Naruto. When he's not out hunting for babes, this wise hermit spends a respectably significant amount of time taking Naruto under his wing. We later learn that Jiraiya actually has a much deeper connection to Naruto than is initially explained, having also been a mentor to Naruto's father, Minato, decades earlier. With the official leader of Team 7, Kakashi, having clearly played favorites and giving Sasuke private lessons, Jiraiya makes sure that his student doesn't fall behind, teaching him techniques like the Rasengan that can square up evenly against his rival's Chidori, as well as the all-important summoning jutsu, giving Naruto some powerful allies for his battles ahead. Similar to our previously mentioned mentor from the Naruto franchise, Jiraiya is not immune to his students eventually heading down the wrong path, and like a parent whose children ended up in a crack house, Jiraiya feels real disappointment for the way Nagato and team turned out. Luckily, Naruto's personality and core values on life seem to be a much better fit with Jiraiya's, and he helps this chosen child of prophecy become the hero of Konoha that he's always wanted to be.
私はオールマイト。
Standing above all other mentors, as well as above all mere mortals and hero wannabes, we have the symbol of peace, Japan's answer to a Captain America Hulk hybrid, All Might from My Hero Academia. The world's strongest hero is more than just that. He's also an incredible mentor. Having been inspired by young Midoriya's display of heroism at the start of Season 1, he changes his mind about who to make his hand-picked successor and pass his powers on to, having originally scouted Golden Boy Lemillion. While his initial training methods may have seemed disparate and unorganized, simply piling on this power to Deku and hoping his body eventually becomes strong enough to use it at all, we eventually see in Season 4 that there's actually an extremely well thought out genius to the steps in his training regimen that are gradually preparing Deku to be able to improve his abilities considerably by first mastering very specific aspects of his power. As Midoriya is likely one of All Might's biggest fans, both mentor and mentee in this situation got extremely lucky, as Deku is always extremely eager to learn and absorb as much information and guidance that All Might is willing to impart on him. If there was ever a mentor who led with his heart over his head in a good way, it's definitely All Might, and I can't wait for more seasons of My Hero so we can see his students continue to go plus ultra. There you have it, my friends, the top 10 best mentors in anime to date. Were there any mentors left out that you think deserve to be added to this list? Do you have any suggestions for what future lists should cover? I genuinely want to hear from you, so please leave a comment below and let me know what you think. As always, if you like my channel and you want to support me in creating more content like this, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and be sure to hit that bell icon to be notified of my upcoming videos. Thanks again, I'm Alex Alvern, and I'd love to see you in the next one.